Hi, today we're going to work in Illustrator to set up a layout grid. So it's something you should always use in your document so that your layout has more structure, things line up, and it generally looks a lot better. So if you don't know what they are, just Google layout grids and you'll get tons of information on them. So what we're going to do today is work in Illustrator, which doesn't have fantastic tools for setting this up, but I'm going to show you how I do this. So I have a page here that's half of a letter page, half letter size. So it doesn't matter what size you're working on, but we're going to go ahead and divide this into 3 columns with margins and gutters and columns and everything. So maybe the first thing I should actually have is a bleed on this thing, just in case our document bleeds. So this is out of your screen view, but by default, if you're just using I think any tool, or at least go to your selection tool, and you'll see document setup up here in your options bar in Illustrator. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and you can see that I have no bleeds here. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure this chain is clicked so that they all change at once, and I'm going to increase this to 9 points. So this would be in inches, which you shouldn't work in inches if you're doing page layout. You should work in picas. It would be 0.125 inches, or 9 points in picas. So this is expressed as 0p9. It's 0 picas, 9 points. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and we see our red guides show up here. So let's set up some margins and columns. To do that, I simply take my rectangle tool. I make sure that smart guides are on, so you can see how when I hover over objects, it tells me what they are. So I'm on the corner of the page there, you see the word intersect. So smart guides are on. It's Command and the letter U to turn them on, or you can go View and turn on smart guides. So I'm going to go ahead and drag a rectangle across the whole page, and it doesn't matter what fill and stroke this has, because it's going to go away in a second. So now what I want to do is set up let's say an 18-point margin all the way around. So what I need to do is decrease the size of this rectangle by 18 points. Now I don't know what 51 minus 18 is, because I'm a graphic designer and I'm bad at math. So I'm going to go ahead and just type minus 36 actually, because we need 18 points on each side. So whatever your margin is going to be, just double it. Okay, so I'm going to go, see, you just saw that it went narrower by a total of 36 points. I'm going to do minus 36 here also and hit OK. And it shrunk to the center because of this tool here. See, my black dot is in the center here. That's what made it shrink equally all the way around. So there we go. I can actually, I'm going to show you something more. Look, maybe I want only half of the size of this margin on top. So I'm going to click on the bottom little widget down here, and I'm going to go height, add 9 points, let's say. So I just do +9, and then when I hit enter, it added, like it shrunk this margin here by 9 points. Go ahead and give it a try and see. Now all I need to do is, there's 2 more steps. I'm going to go, I want to divide this into 3 columns. So I'm going to go Object, Path, and then split into grid. This is like a fantastic tool. It's really cool. So Object Path, split into grid. I'm going to move this into the page here, and I'm going to turn on preview, and I just divided it into 3 columns, and I'm going to make this 9 points so that everything is kind of kosher there as far as the math goes. And I'm going to click OK. So there we go. We have our 3-column grid, except this blue color is getting in our way. What I want to do is make these guides and not an actual vector shape. So I'm going to go View, Guides, and this is barely on the screen for you here, but there's Make Guides right here, and the keyboard shortcut is Command and the number 5. Okay, Command and the number 5. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and look at that. I hope you can see that on the screen. We have 3 columns, 3 guides that are in rectangle shape that make our grid. So what I would do if I were you is lock guides to make sure we can't select them, and maybe even put them on a layer on their own and lock that layer so that you don't move your guides. So I hope this helps you produce more structured page layouts in Illustrator. You should always, whenever you're going to make any kind of layout in Illustrator, always do this. Always have a guide on there. Obviously, have a grid, I should say, a page layout grid. And obviously these aren't going to print, they're just guides. So I hope this helps you create more sounder page layouts.